Support comes from Tropical Smoothie Cafe. Hey, everybody, just Seth. The other guys are out getting some tropical smoothies at the Tropical Smoothie Cafe. They wanted a little escape in the middle of their day. They wanted to go grab a smoothie. That's classic Andy. A bowl. That's classic Keeve. Or a wrap. That's classic Yorm. And for a few minutes, it feels like a little wellness retreat for your taste buds. And that's what the three of them call each other, the Taste Buds. And for the smoothie people out there, big news, Tropic Fan Fest is back at Tropical Smoothie Cafe from September 15th through the 21st. You guys, one of the things they always tell me when they're like, hey, we're heading out, and I'm like, can I come? And they're like, nope, it's just the Taste Buds. And I'm like, where are you going? And they say, we're going to the Tropical Smoothie Cafe because in the middle of the day, we just need a reset. And, you know, when we sneak in to the old Tropical Smoothie Cafe, it feels like we got a little vacation in. And God knows the three of them deserve another vacation. The menu stack too. Try the fan favorite Bahama Mama smoothie, the acai bowl with Nutella, topped with fresh fruit, or the Caribbean jerk chicken wrap. And by the way, that's what I think they are for not inviting me. Bunch of jerk chicken wraps. You guys visit tropicalsmoothiecafe.com to find a cafe near you. Terms and conditions apply. Don't miss the free smoothie party at Tropical Smoothie Cafe from September 15th to 21st. Download our app and join Tropic Rewards to get in on the Tropic Fan Fest fun. Terms and conditions apply.
It's the Lonely Island and Seth Meyers podcast.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Seth Meyers Lonely Island podcast. Andy's not with us today, and we texted about it a lot, and Yorm just mentioned that he was surprised by this news. And I feel like we're in this weird place right now, whereas Yorm is in recovery, and so I don't want to be too hard on him. And I'm like, oh, maybe that just went in one ear and out the other. But then that was a previous thing that was happening, too. So I kind of don't want to blame the latter for this. You know what I'm saying, Yorm?
I know what you're talking about.
Yorm, have the drugs, how has it affected your short-term and long-term memory, you think?
Oh, well, short-term memory, I think, is definitely better because my name, I feel like my name recognition and retention is better because I'm meeting so many nurses and like PAs, which I think stands for physician's assistant, and like doctors and residents and all these people who come in. And I'm making a real point about it to like try to remember people's names. And I think it's better. I feel like a real Kato Kalin. And Akiva knows that reference, but nobody else will. But we met Kato Kalin once, and he was super good at remembering people's names.
I was going to say, I hope you weren't saying that you were impressed you remembered his name, because I'm kind of like, that's like one of the easiest ones to remember.
I did remember his name. I was particularly proud of myself for remembering his name.
I would have thought, Yorm, certainly on one of your sets, that you would be a complete name junkie. Name jockey? I would think you'd be on top of it.
Because you think of me as like a social butterfly?
No, I think of you as just like a good leader on set who would know everybody's name and would make a real effort. So I'm surprised to hear this is any different in the hospital because this is something that I would always think you'd be good at.
I think my focus is better here. I feel like on set, because I'm thinking about 20 different things, it's harder because then people are ping-ponging up to you saying names and then like with a decision of like which color, red or blue. And so like I feel like it's a little harder, whereas all I'm doing now is either being in pain, lying down, making a Lego Home Alone set. You know what I mean? Like it's a lot easier for me to focus on like, what's your name? Like it's like, and it's also exciting because anybody who comes in here, I'm like, oh God, what's your name? do you want to hang out?
You're desperate for the interaction.
Yes.
Right. You're
100%.
not like a day and a half behind schedule at a movie. You're just like a dude who's like,
Yes. I'm like, hey, what's your name? What kind of music you listen to? You want to play some jams real quick?
No. The Home Alone set can wait.
By the way, everyone's very impressed with my Lego. It's almost done.
We have it. We did it a couple years ago.
Oh, okay, you're probably right. You're up on game.
You know, it's really impressive.
But you could take a photo and put it in the show notes.
There's a lot to put in the show notes. Now, Keeve, we set up a P.O. box for Yorm.
Oh, yes.
And
by the way, I didn't know that.
It was a huge bounty.
Really?
2 bags full of gifts. And I offered to Yorm, do you want me to open them here in my office and we could just send pics to you?
Yeah.
And Yorm was like, no, man, send them over. And I think it's safe to say, certainly, I was talking with Mari beforehand. She might be a little worried about what Quaid Army has sent over to your home.
Well, here's the thing. When I said send him over, what I meant was send him over to me at the hospital.
Sure.
Yeah. So there was a little miscommunication there. Yeah, Mari was a little bit like miffed at what she was receiving.
Totally get it now.
Well, wait, have they been opened? Are we doing some unboxing?
No, I think that maybe is for next show. We'll do that. I'll bring some highlights for next show.
Yeah, we got to get him over to the hospital so Yorm can start going through them. I would imagine, Keeve, based on everything we know about Yorm, I think he's going to be super psyched about sort of homemade fan art in the get well soon sphere.
Yes. My mind immediately went to that people made baked goods, which is a bummer because you don't want to eat them because you don't know what's in them.
I don't think anybody P.O. Box is a baked good. I think we're going to have a lot of...
Okay.
I think it's going to be like fan art stuff.
By the way, I couldn't believe how big of a story it became off of us just talking about it on the podcast. It was a real weird thing for me to go from like, oh God, like I just want to get better to like, I wonder if anyone wrote about me today. Like, it's like a really funny...
you that became your pain-killing drug.
No, it became this weird, like, I was like, why is my ego involved now in the fact that I shattered my body?
Does anyone care I'm hurt? Seth, you and your brother look similar, obviously, but I never really think about it. There's something about the shape of the hat you're wearing today.
It's very Josh.
It Joshifies
That
you.
is Josh, where there's been a few moments where you've turned your head and I've been like, oh, I would just think I'm looking at Josh right now.
And the glasses, because Josh wears... I'm sort of second to glasses in the Myers boys family.
Oh,
and so glasses and hat is it could be Josh.
I gotta say that those glasses, those are nice on your face, buddy. Those are good frames.
The Redditors really have been in a fine form. They put a link to a bunch of actual charities that had ladder in the name because they thought that might be a nice way to honor. And so we'll get those in the show note. Damien's Ladder, which does home repairs for seniors, disabled people. Ladder Up, financial resources.
This is where to donate in Yorm's honor.
Yeah, if you want to donate to honor Yorm, there's a lot of different charities.
I feel weird about that because that feels like it's like in support of ladders.
Well, that's obviously, I think, what they're trying to say. But I will tell you, none of these are pro-ladder charities.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Someone should have been supporting that ladder, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Good one.
Thank you.
That's kudos. I can't. No notes on that comment.
I'm just scrolling through the Reddit page real quick. And by the way, one Redditor was like, they read this. So I think they didn't read it. Dawned on them.
I agree with that Redditor. I think that the Quades need a private space to talk shit if they feel like it, because they know it's coming from, I'm assuming, a place of love. Otherwise, you wouldn't spend time with us on this pod. But not to think they're going to get audited by Seth.
Yeah, I feel like that is fair.
By the way, I'm not going to audit, and I will say, we love a well-crafted burn. But Ann Arbor, there's a brewery that has a Quaid Army IPA, so that's really exciting.
Ooh, I want to see that.
That's fantastic.
Do you have a link? Can you share screen on that, or
it's just a photo of the sign outside that's selling it. I just want to share real quick to show you this. Can you guys see that?
Oh, it's Andy.
That's Frisberg. Somebody did basically a mashup of Frisbee and Sandberg.
They did a pretty good job.
Yeah, it's really good. So we're gonna
hate myself. Yeah, because that's what Frisberg says.
We had a lot. I will say we're gonna get to some lovely Q&A stuff. A lot of comments today. Without Andy, we didn't feel like we could move on to Two Worlds Collide. Somebody did ask, which I just think is a helpful question, about how you always approach these, Keith. But in Get Out, the music underneath, someone said, why does this music sound like a corporate video? But it is like, that's just sort of library music, right?
Yeah, it's just crappy library music. And I don't know why I have a feeling we were so rushed. We found the first one that worked. It made us giggle because it's so bad, and we just left it.
Yeah.
That's my guess.
But let's actually talk about this, Keith, because we used it for years. And even if this wasn't actually from this, talk about where you got the CDs called Web Clip Empire. Like, where did those actually come
we've
from?
mentioned them a bunch of times. This one, though, I don't think was from that. This one sounds more like, God, I'm blanking the name, but there were those library of CDs that we used a lot. Like, it's the music from MacGruber. All the MacGruber sketches use it.
It's Megatracks, right?
Megatracks, I think that's
Megatracks,
it. And so this sounds more like a Megatracks to me, where we would license it. But there was this weird CD. We might have talked about this really early on.
No, but we didn't talk about your dad giving it to you.
It was my dad got sent it for some reason because he worked in computers, and it was just for people building websites in the beginning of the internet, where that was a thing, where the amount of megabytes or kilobytes that it had to take up was so little that this CD could have thousands of songs because they're so low quality and small, and thousands of those really whack sound effects like blings, blunks, like the things that made up the very beginning of the internet. And we realized there were thousands of things, and you could just look through these folders and it would be like business songs and it would be like spa songs.
But by the way, like without fail, you throw a dart anywhere on those CDs, fucking incredible.
Yes. Every moment of it's a gold mine.
But like those CDs were like fucking saxophone
Yeah.
stuff.
So like Body Fusion, that's the music, and Body Fusion, that's the music. Anything where it was dinky and crappy the entire time we were at SNL, those were what we were using.
And you actually notice how low quality they are. Like when you really listen to them, you're like, oh, they like break up. They're fucking terrible.
Yeah, that's part of the joy.
Do you guys, I feel like this is a nice transition to the fact that our friend Fred Armisen has an album coming out this month called 100 Sound Effects.
Oh, yeah.
Did you know that?
I did, but I haven't.
These are just some of the tracks. And by the way, like Fred said, like I think Fred was the kind of kid who liked that back in the day there were albums that were just like sound effects.
Oh yeah. Yeah, for sure.
These are these are some of the sound effects. Needle on record, drum sound check at medium-sized venue, guitar tuned but still somehow out of tune.
Does he talk on the tracks too? Like,
I don't
okay,
know.
here's the sound, and
Can you buy this on LP?
I'm sure.
a
Knowing Fred, yes.
record that you have to put on.
Yeah, what am I talking about? Of course.
All right, here is a Romanian crowd at Rock Club shouting for an encore. Here's music venue employee kicking everyone out while throwing away bottles.
If you are not with the band, please leave. We are closed. Out you go. If you don't.
I like that you can also hear Fred in the background playing other roles. He was also playing like someone who's just having a small conversation off to the side.
Oh, this is my jam. Like, I can't wait to get
When
this.
does this come out?
This comes out September 26th, so in 2 weeks. I would just like to turn everyone's attention to, he was on Fallon, and very much in this vein. He did a bit where he sat at the drums, and he did an impression of the drummer in Diana Ross's band who had never heard the song I'm Coming Out before and had to learn it in real time. And it's just pure joy. You can't believe. And again, no one has made more consistently funny small observations in his career than Fred Armisen.
It's so funny because like when you say observational comedy, like that could be like the most broad thing ever.
Right. Yeah, that you're right. That could be damning.
But like a Romanian club, like it's just oh wow. Talk about detail work.
Speaking of, while we're talking about sound, Keeve, you were let's be honest, you were up in arms about the poor sound quality of your voice note last week. Do you want to just address?
Yeah, and I did actually go into the comments on the YouTube to be like, is anyone going to notice this? And people did. People were noticing things like the fact that I mentioned that a plane flew by and I was like, oh, I'm going to get burned for that. And they're like, no one can hear that plane. Your entire audio sounds like it was recorded like on an old Nokia phone or something. My audio was fine. I don't know if Jeff wants to come on here to defend himself, but it was so bad when I went back and listened that I was like, what happened? I recorded it on my iPhone. I went back and listened to the clip. It sounds indistinguishable from how we sound right now. It's perfect. And then I thought maybe they did it on purpose, like that the editor of this podcast thought it was funny to make it degraded because it is kind of funny.
Yeah.
I can truly think of nothing worse for a Kiva than having done something correctly with anything technical and then
having the rug pulled out, humiliated. This is his. Jeff's not defending himself, so I don't know if he's on here.
I can defend myself if you want. I can.
Oh, there it is. Okay, Jeff, where were you again?
I was visiting Portland, and you texted me the voice note, and I forwarded it to the editor over text message, and somehow going over the cell phone network, it got degraded or compressed or something like that, and did not hear it until it was edited.
This is a problem with Portland's infrastructure,
This might be Portland,
or is the editor on an Android and it went through SMS?
I'm not going to blame the editor. I would never do that.
Okay,
I think it's probably just the going over cell networks, probably.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Well, this is a reminder. You really shouldn't leave the studio until the episodes are done.
Yeah. Also though, Andy was thrilled I got to work in a midweek Quibi
Yeah.
for him.
We have some comments that I'll just it's weird not to have Andy here for these, but these are some comments from the YouTube page. All caps, period after each word. More, New York, Times, games, related, comedy.
Shit, we don't have our main guy though for that.
I know.
today.
Somebody else, I like this phrasing. This podcast has only 1 million times the word game content I require.
So they'd be fine with 1/1,000,000th the amount.
Yes, but they said it in a real positive way, which I kind of liked. Hey, here's one, Yorm, and I'm just going to ask it. I have no idea. Is Yorma the voice of the computer? Have you ever been the voice of a computer, Yorm?
I can see Yorm's moving from a wheelchair back to the hospital bed and is nowhere near his microphone right
That's
now.
true. Where, in fact, there are people on screen that are not Yorma, which seems to be,
And
so,
I don't, and at a glance, he seems far from the computer in a way that his headphones aren't on.
you know, we're all learning in real time how to do a podcast with someone who is currently in the hospital.
I like that it looks like a dolly shot because we must be on some sort of a wheeled table and it's getting moved around. We're getting like a very sick dolly shot of a hospital room.
I don't know if there's some rumors now, Keeve.
Yeah.
Maybe Pam and Liam aren't the real thing.
How dare they?
I agree.
I mean, I guess it's all speculation. No one knows what people do behind closed doors, right? Like,
Exactly.
There's always been a lot of rumors about you and Alexi. Like,
Wait, this is the first I'm hearing. What are the rumors?
well, just like, is it just for publicity?
Oh yeah,
Like,
yeah. Right.
like what's going on? You talk about it a lot on the show, on your show, probably more than needed.
Oh, you mean like it's a little awkward how often I'm like my wife, that sort of thing?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
do?
It's like
Yeah.
you're selling
like
it,
forcing it.
You're selling it pretty hard, buddy. Yorm, we had a question for you while we were getting that sick dolly shot of your hospital room.
Sorry. I had to transfer to my bed, guys.
Here it is. Is Yorma the voice of the computer in the Paul Rudd Celery Man sketch from Tim and Eric? Awesome show, great job.
No.
All right, would have been pretty awesome if you had been.
Yeah, that would have been that would have been good years. As we like to say in the Lonely Island, you would have been a real eagle-eared cherry.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, that's a good
That's
one.
one that when we were asked what our things were, where we shared what Righteous Kill was, eagle-eared cherry never made it
A
in.
real eagle-eared cherry.
Yeah, that is one. I guess we haven't given up all our tricks yet. I guess we still got a few left up our sleeves.
He's a real eagle-eared cherry.
I'm
Yeah.
going to let you
Ooh.
guess. I'm going to let you guess who came up with that phrase, though.
Well, it's got to be you, Yorm.
No fucking way.
That's an
Is
Andy.
it Andy?
Yeah, Andy likes that kind of stuff.
of course
the
it's
most.
Andy.
Oh, it's Andy.
Yeah, he likes references.
Here you go, Yorm. Somebody said, Yorma's vest was totally fine. It was literally just a black vest. I was excited to see the reveal on Instagram, given how much you were making fun of him, only to be disappointed to see a dude in a vest. With that in mind, I'd like to wish Yorm a speedy recovery, as well as give my deepest apologies that it took him shattering his pelvis for me to defend him. And then PPS RIP Frisbee, who wasn't that ugly either. So
Wow.
kind of, I guess in the end, Frisbee was the Yorma's vest of dogs.
Wait, was this person sitting on this whole time?
I think they were maybe, yeah.
They've been stewing. There's 6 mons of thinking about the vest. It was like, I have something to say now.
Yeah, it's like, you know what? This is on me.
Yeah.
Maybe if I complimented the vest earlier, he wouldn't have been trying to prove himself up on that ladder.
The problem with the complimenting the vest thing is because you then said that Frisbee wasn't that ugly. And let me just be Andy for a second. I don't trust the first
I do
comment.
not like where this is going.
Yeah. Sorry.
Their credibility went right out the window.
Yeah, I'm just like, oh, okay. I gotta burn that vest.
So a person with no taste.
Yeah. A real mole-eyed cherry.
Wow, right off the top.
Yep. Good. Very good.
You changed animals.
Support for the Lonely Island and Seth Meyers podcast comes from Airbnb. I stayed at an Airbnb once with my family in Pittsburgh. That's where my dad's from. We go back once a year, and it was incredible. They had pictures of all the famous people, beautiful black and white photos of famous people from Pittsburgh. And my favorite thing about the weekend was looking at Mr. Rogers next to Wiz Khalifa. The thing I love about Airbnb is how it turns travel into something more personal. You're not just visiting a city, you're staying in a space that feels unique and lived in, and that makes the whole experience more memorable. And that's the other side of it too. Your place can give someone else that same feeling. While you're away, your home doesn't have to sit empty. Hosting on Airbnb means someone gets a welcoming spot to stay, and you get the benefit of putting your space to good use. I love trips where I've stayed at Airbnb, and sometimes I come home wanting to add touches that I saw in other people's homes because they brought character to a living space that I was envious of. Your home could be worth more than you think. Find out how much at airbnb.com/host. Hey, this is exciting. Remember we were saying that there was a clickbaity article on sportsillustrated.com about how maybe Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift got engaged because Frisbee died?
Yes.
We got an email from the author of the article.
Oh,
Yeah.
good. Our favorite person.
And
Yeah, his name is Stephen Douglas, and he wrote, first, here's an article I wrote on SIA.com about you trying to get dem clicks by connecting Frisbee's death to Travis and Taylor's engagement.
So he gave us a click. I mean, what a nice guy.
But the next part is back down to earth. Unfortunately for me, it only did Brenda and Sean numbers.
Damn.
I thought it was going to get him fired almost.
And then there's more here, because again, he goes, second, I am a Douglas, last name, who was called Doogie back in the 90s. Since there were multiple kids in my class that shared my first name, my cousin thought it would be a good nickname for me in elementary school. It stuck with me for quite a while as I grew up, and every once in a while, in my hometown, I'll run into somebody who will break it out. I could deal with that, but hearing Akiva and Andy joke about people saying Douglas was both hilarious and triggering. Get well soon, Yorm. Thank you, Stephen Doogie Douglas, for trying to get us dim clicks.
Doogie Douglas. Yes, thank you. That's
Wow.
lovely. That's above and beyond.
Really appreciate it.
It was that he used the word, didn't he use the word posit in his title? That's why, he's a good writer. Like podcasters posit that the death of dog allowed for karmic energy to, whatever he did, it made it loftier than it deserves in a good way.
Big up that Douglas.
Oh, here's one. Hey guys, Ian from Antwerp, Belgium here. So I've been bugging my Iraqi friend from work to have a listen to your podcast. Yesterday, finally caved and binged like 6 episodes in one go. Good news, you've got yourself a brand new fan of the pod. The bad news, he was wondering why you guys kept repeating Kuwait Army. I guess, look, if you're from Iraq, you're going to hear Kuwait Army.
Yeah, that makes sense. But so he just went into a random episode. I do wonder if someone hears this is good, you don't go back to episode 1.
Yeah.
But you'll never catch up to knowing what the hell we're talking about, which is interesting.
Yeah, it's a real mistake. I wouldn't jump in midstream.
Yeah,
For all the little
But I
things.
understand if someone tells me an interesting, like if someone says Amy's podcast is really good, I look and I see like, well, what's something I'm interested in? And I go, oh, look at that. Andy was on. I'll check that one. I don't just go to the first episode and hit play.
That's true. And I would imagine with us, you might say, oh, threw it on the ground. That's a great place to jump in. And I'm sure it makes
That's what I mean. You'll go Dick in a Box. I'm going to check out the Dick in a Box, even though I will say a lot of our, what I would consider more successful episodes of this are often about the ones that no one would remember. So.
Yeah, I think that's true. It's a real strength of the podcast that we don't need a good short to make good content.
I also will say, I was trying to explain, or I mentioned to one of the physical therapists at the hospital that our listeners are called Kuwait Army. And then it was so, like, to even get into why was so like, it just doesn't even matter. Like, I can't. It just seemed like a headache to try to describe
Agreed.
why.
And they're not going to get any enjoyment out of that story. Like,
No.
okay, do you remember Total Recall? It's like describing a dream you had or something. They're just going to go,
You don't even know what you're talking about as soon as you start.
I'm not interested in this series of nonsense.
Oh, God, yeah, you're immediately...
We were here for every building block, so it makes total sense. But you're right. If you have to start at level 1 and the first thing you say is, do you remember the movie Total Recall? You've already lost the audience.
You're done.
Because the audience is like, wait, none of you were in that. None of you had anything to do with it. Why are we talking about that movie?
So confusing.
Somebody said, when is Yorm? And again, I think, our listeners know Yorm, you're pretty quick to make a shirt after your accident.
Yep.
When are you going to make a shirt that says broke ass motherfucker?
Oh, why?
Because you broke your ass.
Because you broke.
Oh,
broke ass.
broke ass motherfucker.
So is it better? But I would say that a Yorma twist on it would be ass broke motherfucker.
yeah, I would say out of all 4 of us, I'm not like a big pun guy, right?
Interesting.
I don't know if any of us really are, right? And speaking of this,
I'm going to say I probably am, and I don't want to like take this moment to be cool, please.
Well, to sort of go back on that, I was talking to my friend Jake recently, and he was saying that his wife Gina was actually confused. They were talking about Big Pun, and she was like, "Oh, she had thought that he just made a lot of puns as a rapper." And
Big Punisher's nickname was Big Pun.
Got it.
Yeah, Big Pun. And so,
But I don't think it's because there's puns. But you know what? His lyrics were humorous. You know, like he was one of those rappers
but
who
he didn't
would
use
have
a lot
good
of puns though. Did
he would have good punchlines. And so, but I don't know if he did a lot of puns, but maybe.
I don't think he was a big pun guy.
A lot of rappers like to get into words that have double meanings, though.
Yeah, short answer is I wouldn't make that fucking shirt. That seems low to me. I would never do that.
And fuck you.
No, but thanks for writing in. No.
We have had a lot of people requesting merch because obviously there is merch out there being made by third parties. And some people want the official ones, which would go to Jacob's Ladder or whatever it was called.
We should do it, but...
Yeah, it would be nice. We're going to, and again, I don't quite know why it's taken us so long, and the reality is it probably will continue to take longer. Yeah. But there is some merch available right now.
Jeff is looking into making some official Quaid Army stuff.
Yeah, but Jeff's in Portland, and then he's going to like text the designs to somebody, and it's going to come through all compressed.
Can we send this out to the fans and be like, any idea that like rises through the ranks of whatever you guys want me to design as a shirt? Because I got nothing but time. I'm literally bedridden. These guys are watching me. I had to move from my wheelchair to a hospital bed just now. Like, I got nothing but time. So honestly, like if anybody's like, if it's Quaid Army, if it's whatever.
You're taking requests.
Yeah, I'm taking requests. But it's got to be like one idea. I can't do like,
Well, and by the way, let's say you want some merch right now, and you're a little frustrated with how long it's taking us. I have some good news. We've talked about how the Hot Rod black leather outfit, although maybe has that auction ended?
Probably.
There's a buy it now item on eBay right now, Yorm. And for fans of yours,
fans of mine,
I think it's really exciting. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hold on, I'm going to share screen again so you guys can see this.
This is going to be embarrassing, whatever it is.
No, it's pretty awesome. It's the Shaka teeth.
Oh, what the fuck?
Gross.
Backup teeth number 3.
Oh my God, it's the real,
dude,
and it's the...
Dude, I don't even have those.
Of course you don't. And that's molds.
Those are really good ones.
That's molds of your real teeth because the inside of those...
No, but the ones I have aren't painted. Like, fuck, that's way better.
We're going to send a link if anybody here is looking to spend $875 for Yorma Tacone's...
On the grossest thing you could ever own.
Backup Shaka teeth number 3.
Shit.
They're available.
That feels a little personal to
It's weird because that is your real dental record. So
yeah.
I'm not saying anybody would do this, but if they wanted to, they could, using that, the part that's molded your teeth, they could pour plaster or whatever you pour in, make a perfect mold of your teeth like they would have at the orthodontist.
Well, no,
go commit
Keith.
a crime, use them to bite somebody, to create teeth marks.
Not anymore because I did Invisalign twice since these.
So that's your alibi.
So, yep.
Okay, so you can't frame Yorm with these.
But there's another way you could use it, Yorm, because I feel like you could use these to do what Keith said and fake your own death. Mm-hmm. And then, you know what I mean, throw these in, and then they would do the dental records, and they would,
they'd
say,
be like, that's him, and you could start fresh.
You could start fresh.
Oh, yeah. God, I should have. I feel like I missed opportunity now that I could have spun this broken back thing.
It should say
death.
in the notes on this eBay, cannot be used to frame Yorma.
Yeah. Do not use for crime. The buyer promises not to use for crime.
He has gotten Invisalign. These would be useless unless you're trying to frame him for a crime.
Yeah.
But if it's an old crime, a 2007 crime.
Oh, that's right. Cold case. Use this for a cold case crime.
Do you guys remember the movie The Town?
Of course.
Where there's a montage. I love this montage where like all of our main heroes that are bank robbers have to like scrub down their hair in a very sexy shower sequence of like Jeremy Renner and Ben Affleck and just like showing off the fucking pecs and the goods. And like it's a real watery, sexy scene. But the point of it is that they got to scrub their body because they're going to go to barbershops, buy a bunch of hair, and then scatter the hair all over the place to be like, oh, there's DNA everywhere. But it would be so much funnier if they had done teeth. And they just like...
We need to get teeth marks everywhere. Use these fake denture, fake teeth, and try to put bite marks and things.
And it's just that then the scene is them just super brushing their teeth.
That's a scene I would watch.
Which doesn't really make sense.
I would watch that a lot.
Less sexy, but more detailed.
Someone wrote, hey, I was listening to the new episode. I heard an Airbnb ad in which Seth said that Andy and Akiva should turn their houses into Airbnbs since they both have nice houses, but omitted Yorma's house. Why was that? Does Seth mean Yorma's house isn't nice, or does he think that Yorma would never rent out his house? Well, now I would say the reason is it's a crime scene. It's an active crime scene.
Oh, God.
Maybe because we live in LA, you just think of that as a vacation spot. I don't know.
I do think of it as a place for a sweet vacay.
My house is fine, guys. It's fine.
Hold on.
I'm enjoying you going through these, Seth. This is not a comment on that, but I am. At one point when we did Q&As, we had some audio clips directly from
We
Quaid.
got some.
We do. How do they submit those again? Let's just remind people how.
Well, there's a place called SpeakPipe, and you can call into
Immediately
SpeakPipe.
sounded fake.
Definitely sounds fake.
It is. It's called SpeakPipe. And as I'm doing this long ramp,
How do the Quaids know to do that?
because I'm waiting right now for someone in the chat to tell me more. This is me trying to buy time.
So
Jeff.
the people that have already sent it have been sending it through this, but how did they know to do that?
I think we've said it before on the pod.
Oh, it's on the Instagram account. Okay.
Yeah, I think we've said.
Speakpipe.com/The Lonely Island.
SpeakPipe.
If you want to give us an audio note, an audio question.
A sweet voicey. Jeff, do you have any voice notes that you could play us now?
Hi, Lonely Island. My name is Morgan, and I'm a longtime fan from Minnesota. A little while back, a few friends and I actually had a debate over whether our state's anthem would be Purple Rain by Prince or your song, I'm on a Boat. And I was partial to I'm on a Boat. But my real question is, if you were to make one of your albums into an ABBA/Mamma Mia type musical, which one would you choose and why? Thanks for the podcast. Have a great day. Bye.
Thanks for the question.
Yeah, I mean, it seems
What would be your ABBA?
she said Minnesota, right? So obviously
Yeah.
Prince, but
Yeah, it would be hard to say I'm on a boat just because they're land of a thousand lakes or whatever they call themselves.
of course.
I would say Pop Star. That seems like it would be a great musical movie.
Yeah.
Well, that's true. That has a story. But Mamma Mia, to be clear, did not choose one ABBA album, right?
Right.
They were using the breadth of the library.
Yeah.
And I think that's what we do. Like Anne Juliet uses all those Max Martin produced songs, right?
I don't want our caller or the person who asked the question to feel bad. I didn't know that. I wouldn't have. If you told me that it was one album, I would have been like, oh, okay.
What did you think Anne Juliet was, Yorm?
Unreal.
Yeah. It makes it seem like I know
Just like
about
a jukebox. It is fun to take all, because your songs are so specific. It'd be really funny to tell somebody write a Broadway musical that tells a story, but you can only use Lonely Island
I
songs.
feel like that's a great thing to just plop into Chat GPT. Give it 20 songs.
Yeah, I guess it's different when it is ABBA or all the works of Max Martin from, Britney Spears and Backstreet and NSYNC, where those songs are more about feelings. So you can easily place them into a narrative of your choice. Whereas ours, they might be a little distracting. But I don't want to let that discourage anyone from giving it a go.
Yeah. If somebody's halfway down the road on this, don't stop just because of what we're saying.
Well,
now.
I would say I would love, this is a genuine answer, that I would actually love us to write a real musical, just start from scratch.
A Book of Mormon, you're saying?
Yeah, a Book of Mormon, Lonely Island style, yes.
I disagree, and I want somebody else to figure out write a musical about a couple falling in love, but then have to figure out where does Sushi Glory Hole fit in.
Yeah, that's what I'm going for.
Just I feel like it's a lot of characters who are in only one scene. They're like, hey, it's my brother Richie and his friend Todd. What are you guys up to?
Well, we'll tell you.
I just had Josh Gad on the show because you mentioned Book of Mormon. And it was one of those things I was saying to him because obviously two pretty obvious examples, but I feel very lucky that I saw that and Hamilton with the original cast. That was one of those, oh, wow, this is what it's like to live in New York City and see something at the right time.
I also saw Book of Mormon with that original cast and had that same feeling because I don't see very many things. I did not get to see the Hamilton original cast, but it was still excellent when I did.
I saw a Hamilton original, but did not see the Josh Gad, unfortunately.
I also was telling him I didn't see it right away. And by the time I saw Book of Mormon, my expectations, they had been set so high by other people that I went into it with this sort of cynical view that it couldn't possibly be as good as everybody said it was. And it was just as good, if not better, than everybody said it was. It was so exciting.
Yeah.
That's exactly how I felt about Hamilton, actually.
Yeah.
But Hamilton, I actually actively sort of wanted to hate because of my love of hip hop. And then within 1 minute, there's like maybe 5 references to like songs you wouldn't know unless you really loved hip hop. Where I was like, oh, dude, this guy's great. Like, in addition to like actually just being a fantastically written thing, like he's a fan and he knows his shit and he's
These are some pretty spicy takes. Are you sure you want to put these out publicly?
Well, Keith,
How good they are?
yeah.
now that I broke my back, I'm just like, I don't fucking care.
Yeah.
It's such a release for me.
Well, you heard it here. These two guys liked Book of Mormon and liked Hamilton. Come at them.
I feel like the minute Andy's gone, like there's just no chasing a dumb clicks.
Yeah.
This is like reverse.
Good luck, Stephen Douglas, writing your article about this one.
What I wonder if people pull the articles about me because of that last thing. They're like, you know what? It wasn't that interesting. Let's take that article about him breaking his back down.
Here's one I'll throw out for Steven. If they get married and Frisbee doesn't come back to life, is it true love?
Oh. You're saying the energy can go back to the void and go back to Frisbee.
Wow.
I'm just saying, like, if they really love each other, I feel like she should come back to life. I'm positing.
Yeah, positive.
Thank you for using Mr. Douglas's language.
Yes, Mr. Douglas.
Mr.
I mean, he
Douglas.
taught us. Look, he taught me how to speak.
Support comes from Vuori. Akiva here, everybody, to talk about Vuori. You know I always love talking about Vuori, and today I've roped my wife, Liz, into this with me because she ordered some stuff from Vuori and is very much enjoying it. How are you liking your stuff, Liz?
It's the best. By the way, you're not roping me into it because I really, truly love it because it is cute on the tennis court. 'Cause, you know, I'm a USTA tennis player.
Okay, that's a lot of bragging.
On a women's 40 and over team. And I'm a 4-0 player, so that's something. So I'm looking real cute in my Vuori tank that I got. And I got these cute, like, skirts that are...
Explain skirts to me.
Well, it looks maybe like a tennis skirt from far away, but it's actually shorts. I can kick my leg up after I hit a winner.
Tell me some of the names of the tennis teams that you play against.
We like to have fun, you know? We like to have fun. So, like, let's say sometime... I'm on the volley girls. So,
because you volley and it's in
we're
the
from the valley. Exactly. There's a lot of puns happening because, you know, that's part of it.
Give me a couple others.
Let's see why the Lobcats, not the Bobcats, but the Lobcats.
Understood.
Baby got backhand. Does that need an explanation?
No. That one's really good.
The toughest team I play against, and I'll be in head-to-toe Vuori when I crush the Supreme Quarters.
Okay.
Lifetime nominations.
I don't know if any of them are in Quaid Army, but they might hear you. Okay. And Liz, have you noticed any good moisture wicking?
Yes, for real, because I sweat on the court, and then these
Ew.
are... Well, because I'm playing hard, you know?
And then have you noticed them being odor resistant?
Yep.
You have? Great.
Yeah.
And is the clothes soft or coarse and hard and annoying?
Very soft.
Okay, good.
Very, like, flowy, very cozy. And actually, I even wore the joggers as my, like, at-home sweatpants, too. Even though they were cute outside, too. They were real, like, light and cozy at home.
Excellent. For our listeners, they're offering 20% off your first purchase. Go to vuori.com/island. That's VUORI.com/island. Exclusions apply. Visit the website for full terms and conditions. Yes, Liz.
Do you know what a tennis player says when she's done with an ad?
What?
Ad out.
I don't know enough about tennis, but I'm going to trust
that was
that's pretty
clever.
good. Okay. All right. Do we have another one, Jeff?
Hi, it's Edie from Baltimore again. The last time you guys thought I'm in medical school, but I'm not. I'm in 3rd grade. We have 4 cats, so Laser Cats is my other favorite. My question is, did you guys know the cat, and what did you do with the stuffed animal cats after you filmed? Also, my mom said Yorma broke his butt. That's so sad. I hope he feels better. Okay, bye.
Thank you for the energy.
That was flawless.
I mean, really, I just shot out of the SpeakPipe.
Oh, wow. That was great. What was their name?
I don't know, but I liked that clearly they had sent in a previous voice note that I obviously don't remember hearing.
Yeah, which I feel bad about.
We've had a child's voice note before.
Yeah. But that one, I don't know if we had that energy before. It is.
No.
I like the idea that that's the first time we heard somebody and immediately they were like, it's me again.
I also love, I'm in 3rd grade.
You thought I was in medical school.
Psych. I can answer the first part, Keevan, and you can add on to it, because I have two things to say about laser cats. One is partially laser cats was partially, in my mind, based on me holding up our cat. It was Willie, right? My wife's right next to me here. Picking up Willie and cocking him like a shotgun and then pretending to shoot my wife with with Willie. And I think I was making shotgun sounds. And then Willie and Cleo, who are our two cats, are actually the cats in the opening credits of Laser Cats because I wanted to just, give a little shout out to my cat. So they're the ones that are flying by when it says, when there was a nuclear war in the past, like whatever.
Right, the photoshopped ones, you would take photos and cut them.
And those are all pictures of my cats. And then you want to talk about the stuffed cats?
The rest of the real cats are brought in by animal wranglers because then we're in the real thing and it has to be approved by the, what is it, ASPCA?
Yeah.
ASPCA.
Is that who handles?
Let's talk about the actual animal wrangling, because when you say you have a trained cat, that's not a real thing. Like, you don't really train cats. They basically like put them down and then they're like, come here, come here, come here, come here, come here. And you're just like, this isn't working. This is just a fucking cat. Yeah. Like, they're not doing anything. Like, did a cat ever do anything? These were not Llewellyn Davis cats.
No.
Like, these were like just cats that were in a cage and like you could pick them up and pet them basically, but there was no, right?
Yeah, they were just brought in and then they went away and then, but we didn't require much of them. And then the stuffed animals were props, and I'm assuming props just had to keep them.
Where is it? These cats or other cats that Lauren fostered afterwards? I can't remember.
Well, Lauren is a sucker. The animal wranglers are like, don't let Lauren see the animals because he'll adopt them. Because it doesn't matter what it is. He's like, oh.
He says it too. He's like, don't let me near them.
Yeah.
I can't go home with more
he goes,
cats.
put that in my house. Put that one in my house. I want to see that one when I get home.
Wait, can I tell you actually though, the story that I love best about those stuffed cats in particular was when we were shooting on the Dr. Oz set, and it was oh my God, who sings Candle in the Wind?
It was Elton John.
Elton John. Yeah, Elton John, that guy. Sir Elton
John. You are
John.
better with names.
Yeah, I got way better with names. So Sir Elton John is...
Oh, now he's showing off. Sir Elton John. Yeah, okay. He does. He's really good.
Sir Elton is on the floor. I can't remember what his character... He was a bad guy. Draws, of course. Dr. Oz draws.
Because we just were using their set. So we said he was Draws.
Dr. Oz became Draws. So Draws is mortally wounded, right? He's covered in cats. And at one point, we were about to shoot like a coverage on him, and he whispered something to me, and I said, what? And I leaned closer to him, and he says, this is more pussy than I've ever seen in my life. And I was like, that's the fucking funniest thing I've ever heard. So, I was like, God. It made me, I was instantaneously, whatever his name is, fan for life.
Whatever. You were his number one fan.
What's that guy's name?
He's been knighted, but been unsure about any other detail.
Yeah.
Yeah. I bet he's friends with the guy who wrote Spare.
The good thing is I feel like he could have also just said that joke about two cats.
He might have.
I bet he could have.
We don't know.
Yeah. Hey, because you said cats aren't trained well, again, just look it up. I've watched it a couple times. David Spade is on a talk show talking about how he had a conversation about trained animals with Christopher Walken, and it's one of my favorite things because Spade tells a great Walken story without really doing a big Walken impression. It's a real, he doesn't press it, so it's not an impression-based story, but it's great because it's Walken talking about how dogs are great. You can't train cats, and I'm paraphrasing, but I think the last thing is him. He's like, you ever work with a trained mouse? And Spade's like, no, I never have. He's like, they're good.
I guess mice famously can be trained. They're in those mazes. They're going after
that's
cheese.
The thing. Yeah. But that is the joy of Christopher Walken. I feel like he's just like, he's impressed.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? He sees a well-trained mouse and he's like, well, congratulations all around.
He's got a sense of curiosity that is in all his roles.
Yeah. I remember the first time he was on SNL when I was there, not the first time he was on SNL. First time he was on when I was in the cast. Everybody pitched, and at the end, Lauren said, do you have anything, Christopher? He said, maybe something with bears. Bears are funny. And I was like, well, that's the gift right there. That's one I'll take with me the rest of my life.
God, I just love when your speech pattern provides accidental or on purpose punchlines all the time.
Oh, her name is Edie.
Edie, the voice note of the third grader who is a badass is Edie.
Yeah.
Edie, please send in another voice note too. They're more than welcome.
Yeah, Edie, we're waiting for another one. But on the next one, Edie, our request, please act like you've never talked to us before.
Yeah.
I feel like we might, Yorma and I especially, maybe have been repeating ourselves today, and Andy is the best don't repeat cop, so, his absence. Oh, he just wrote me. Oh, he sent me an audio file. Oh, he sent it to you too.
This is definitely going to be about Queen Bee. Definitely.
So this is, you guys, we just got a message from Andy as I was talking about the value he adds to the pod and making sure we don't repeat ourselves.
Hey, it's Andy. What's up, guys? Sorry I couldn't be there. Just happened to work out that the only time Seth could do of the entire week, which is a lot of hours, was the one time I couldn't. So it's his fault, but I did want to let everyone know that I just got Queen Bee. My last word was unkink. Kind of kicking myself for not getting it sooner, but I got there. Anyways, love you guys.
It's all positive. That's
It wasn't
nice.
all positive. You threw me under the bus.
It wasn't in a positive way.
That was it was truthful and positive.
Yeah, no, it's positive for you. Positive for you two.
Yeah. Right.
Brevity, though. The guy knows how to fucking send a voice note.
He also I just got a text from him because I get my daily text from him when he gets it. And he wrote, Queen Bee clean, voice note sent. Don't spoil it.
Don't spoil it. Like, he got Queen Bee.
I love that was like a big reveal.
Yeah. Wow. So we got it. So I guess the pod's over. Check in tomorrow.
Pretty close.
to see how
Well, actually, Jeff, do we have any more voice notes?
Hello. I am getting married in the end of October, and my lovely bride has allowed me to play one Lonely Island song during the wedding. So I wanted to get your opinion on which song that should be. So looking forward to hearing your response. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Great question. It's the fun now, because again, you just get one.
I wish he had given more details of the wedding. Like, is this, what part of the country it's in?
Yeah.
Daytime or nighttime?
Right.
Lot of kids there.
My wife's parents already don't like me.
Yes, exactly. Children on the dance floor. Do we do a clean version?
And the other thing is, are you trying to pick the best Lonely Island song for a wedding, or are you trying to pick the funniest Lonely Island song at a wedding based on how inappropriate it is?
Also, like, are people drunk? Is this going to be sandwiched between like, a Beyonce song and an ABBA song?
Well, but if we go by what we assume every wedding is, and because I immediately actually get into like I've never DJ'd before, but like I get immediately uncomfortable being like, oh, that's not gonna work. The joke's not gonna like play. That's not loud enough. Da-da-da. So somewhere I actually just go to what's the best sounding song, or that's the most fun to sing along to, and I probably would say Boat.
I think Boat too.
Yeah.
Unless, are they going to do the thing where they leave for a little while and we all assume, because you know how right after you get married, then the photographer usually takes you off to take photos? Because you can't see, right? That's after the ceremony.
Yeah.
And then that's when you might sneak in a quickie because it's the wedding day and you're supposed to have sex, I guess. And so then they could come back to I just had sex and really just own it.
That's great.
Keeve said, I guess, because he was married at City Hall, and so there was no...
Yeah, I've been to weddings,
no time
though. I
for a
just don't
quickie.
know what... Yeah.
Yeah.
You assume, though, at a normal wedding, people go off and have like bone and then come back?
I think they should.
Yeah, I mean, I think they should too.
Oh, so now this is shifting.
Because a lot of times there's even...
At one point, you're like, that's a tradition, and now you're like, it's a suggestion.
Because sometimes there's even a wardrobe change at a certain point when the party's going to kick into high gear.
Yeah.
At a certain point.
And that's when, if you're going to take your clothes off, might as well.
Right.
It can be a 2-minute session. It's just for the point of like, we did it and we're going to be drunk later.
I would say that that's a really nice thing to do because you kind of, a wedding...
Also, it's your first time, so you're so nervous and you're like, let's get it out of the way so we can enjoy the rest of the party.
But you think your first time takes 2 minutes? Though I feel like there's...
You think it's much less?
Well, because you're so nervous. Like I would imagine there's much less. No, I was going to say much more.
I feel like nervous can break either way. Nervous can either be like it's over like that, or it's just like it's interminable.
Yeah. Well, either way, I just think you want it out of the way so you can enjoy the rest of the night, not being like, oh, it's getting a little late.
Also, not nervous about performance. You're just worried about running out of time.
Yeah, and just like how tired you're going to be. Like, it's 4
Oh,
a.m.
right. Yeah. And are you worried? Be honest. Are you worried about you being too tired? Or are you worried about them being too tired?
Me, probably.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
Like,
Yeah, you don't want to be in a situation
I'm
where it's
sleepy
like, oh my
and
God.
I had too much. Because also everyone wants to have a drink with you. It's your wedding, so then you're getting
Yeah.
a little overserved.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it's going to be sloppy. Whereas if you just went and took all the photos, so everyone's leaving you alone anyways.
Yeah.
And then everyone else is at the dinner having their opening cocktails and stuff. And then you guys just aren't there because you make that grand entrance, right?
Yep,
Where
yep.
everyone cheers.
Right.
So there's a built-in space. I think people should wait. I assumed people snuck one there.
Yeah.
Okay, so I just had sex is the choice.
I think get it out of the way because nothing's worse than like, I think if your bride on the first night is like, should we get our quickie? Like at the end of the night, you're like, oh, I just ate so much cake. Like, I just feel like that's immediately
what I mean.
like,
It's gross.
Yeah. And so this is better. But with that said, I second Yorm. I think I'm on a Boat is the best sort of dance floor
At
anthem.
1:30 a.m. when it's just the drunk adults now and you need something to sing along to. Yeah.
Or I will just argue as well, like, I mean, again, if you can find the clean version, the best thing about I'm on a Boat is it teaches everybody the one line that is said the most.
Yeah.
So if you had like a 7-year-old on the dance floor, by the end of the song, they're also going to be able to yell, I'm on a boat.
That's true. The clean one you can find, sure.
Yeah.
I mean, it shouldn't probably be for the first dance, but it could be.
Yeah.
I will say that the song I always wanted to actually genuinely take off, which somehow never did, was We Are a Crowd. I genuinely wanted that to become a thing that people shouted at sporting events. We are a crowd and we are loud. We're cheering at a group as a group at our favorite event. Somehow it didn't take off.
If somebody's last name, if the bride or the groom's last name was Boat, I also think I'm on a Boat would like serve both purposes of both. I just had sex and I'm on a boat.
Or they could change their last name to Boat.
Yeah.
And then Winner.
So that would be helpful too. All right, Jeff, play another one.
Hey, a few months ago, I sent a DM about how I was having inexplicable romantic dreams about Yorma. I'm a lesbian and I have a partner and a baby, and it was very out of character of me. They're not sexual dreams, they're just romantic. But I recently realized that I think it's because he played that weirdo artist in Girls. And when I was coming out to my friends, one of my friends said, "You know how I know you're gay? It's because you cite your celebrity crush as that weirdo artist from Girls." Anyway, that's all. Okay, bye.
Oh my God.
You think being attracted to Jonathan Booth as a woman makes...
Isn't it Booth Jonathan? I thought it's Booth Jonathan, right?
Yeah, with Jonathan. Which, by the way, the original name of the character was Jonathan Booth, and then they were like, how can we make this more pretentious? And then they just flipped the name. So I'm so flattered by that comment. And then also, I don't know how to feel, I guess, about
Well, I'm
that.
also curious what the romance is, because she said it's not sexual, it's romantic. And I want to know where that line is. Just personally, it would just help me in my life to know where that line is.
Oh my God.
Like, what kind of stuff are you doing? Like, you're eating... But if it's not sexual, does that mean there's not even kissing? It's just like holding hands, watching a
yeah,
movie?
I picture it as like just like holding hands, walking around or something.
Or like having a nice meal, or you're on like a little boat ride or something. You're like pedaling the swan boats in Central Park.
I also like, there is something of, because again, like Booth Jonathan's such a piece of shit that if you have romantic dreams about him, like I think like you wake up, you're like, oh my God, I'm a lesbian. Like there's, I've known all this time, and that was the dream that kind of shook it loose.
A dream about me can reconfirm you're like, oh, I'm definitely a lesbian. That's
Where someone has a crush on you, a man, and goes, yep, that confirms it.
I will say, I think I read that comment, and I apologize for not reading it, but it was way better to hear you say it out loud.
Way better.
So thank you. Thank you for calling in and leaving it on the old SpeakPipe.
Another one?
What do you got, Jeff? One more? Should we do one more?
I like hearing them. Like hearing the quades.
Hi, Lonely Island Pod. This is the story of how Frisbee saved me from crashing my car on a rainy highway last year. In late December, my beloved 15-and-a-half-year-old Lhasa Apso Dachshund Mix left this mortal plane, and in my deepest sorrow, Frisbee, Seth, and the Lonely Island were there to pull me out of the literal depths of despair at the perfect time. Walter looked like an elderly man, even as a puppy, crossed with a teddy bear and Master Splinter from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. He was basically a human soul in a little furry dog suit, and I loved him nearly as much as my actual human children. The rainy night, I headed to the animal hospital to pick up Walter's remains, I could not stop crying. Sobbing and driving is hardly ideal or safe, so I turned on episode 41, listener Q&A episode 3, to try and pull myself together. I went into the animal hospital, thanked the kind staff, and left with my now incinerated dog. I got back in the car with a tin of my dog's ashes and a clay paw print, crying significantly harder. With what was left of Walter riding shotgun, I turned the podcast back on, only for it to start up again at the most serendipitous question. Does Andy still hate Frisbee? Before I knew it, Seth was retelling his fantasy of sending Frisbee's bones to Andy after her death, and an audience member asking, "How will you get the bones?" Having held my dog as the vet administered euthanasia meds just weeks prior, which was in fact super sad, as noted on the pod, my hysterical tears turned into audible laughter as Seth imagined asking his vet for Frisbee's bones mid-procedure. The universe knew I needed to get a grip so as not to crash my car on a rainy highway and sent me imagery of Seth giggling while boxing up Frisbee's bones to mail to Andy at the most opportune moment. Now, almost 8 months without Walter, I tear up regularly and can pull myself out of it by thinking, how will you get the bones? I'm so sorry for Seth's lots of Frisbee and delighted for Andy, I guess. If Frisbee didn't pass on to the netherworld from whence she came, I hope she and Walter are together at the big dog park in the sky. With my eternal gratitude.
Wow.
Oh my God, Maura.
That's no notes on that one. That was well written, well told.
I definitely got a little teary. It was really lovely. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I feel like we should just get out while the getting's good.
Yeah.
That was a perfect way to end it.
Totally.
That's very nice.
And we'll have Andy back next time if his schedule aligns. And then we will talk about Two Worlds Collide. And I love you guys.
Love you, Seth.
Love you.
He's not here today. So later, Arnold.
Later, Quades.